everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Lifting. Today's episode is being recorded on 9/15/25. We are here with Aida, Farhat, and Todd from OlyLife today. This is actually going to be a very interesting episode. But before we get into anything, I now open this circle to true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So, Joanna.
We are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, that only the highest good be done. We pray for you, your friends, your family, your loved ones, to let healing energies in. Let them love you, let them nourish you, and let them bring you to your highest good. We ask for benevolence now to come in with no conflicting agenda, so that we may have this conversation in great understanding. And we ask for malevolent or mischievous type beings to be swept away, so that we may have this conversation in peace. And with that, and with great blessings that we always send your way, we say, so be it.
And so be it. So this is going to be a very interesting episode today. I'm actually going to concede and let our guests start talking today, whichever one of you wants to go first. Introduce yourselves to our audience.
Todd, please.
All right. Yeah, I'm Todd. I'm all the way in the middle of Nebraska, and I am involved with OlyLife. They develop a line of breakthrough wellness devices, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you, Chris and Joanna. Thank you. And we get to work with the wonderful Aida. So, Aida, I'll let you introduce yourself and say a few words.
Sure. My name's Aida Farhat, and I am a reoccurring guest here on Chris's show. Chris recently purchased a device, and I'm looking forward to working with him and helping him get the information out there to educate his audience, so that people can become better familiar with what OlyLife has to offer. The devices have changed my life, and yeah, that's it. I have a small business called Soulful Synergy Detox and Wellness. I do ionic foot detox, PMF therapy, and I also work with what's called a DEEMS device, which is a chakra clearing device. But I find that actually the P90 Plus and the regular P90 also do clearings on people. I've had people mention that they notice a different, the feelings, the frequencies from the devices, that they feel much more clearer and in their mind and more expanded. So yeah, Todd, I guess you're much more learned in this than I am. So please go ahead.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. It absolutely helps with, brain fog, the clearing, the overall feeling in your body. And I think the best thing I can do, Aida, is set up a quick little presentation, and then we can kind of go from there and take, questions and kind of talk about what this is. But basically, OlyLife International, they do develop a breakthrough line of wellness devices you can see on the screen here. And that's why I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about the device and the technology. You'll hear us talking about frequencies and so on. But OlyLife is the very first company to combine PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic fields, with terahertz in their foot platform here. So on the right is what's called the original P90. And then on the left is what's called the P90 Plus. It does come with two attachments. But the secret sauce here with these two devices is the two technologies and the delivery through the feet. Now, what is PEMF? Well, it basically, what it does is it recharges tired, worn out, damaged cells. And it's to simplify it, it's like hooking a battery up to your cells, because your cells can't function properly if they're inflamed, if they're damaged, and so on. And that's where the healing process starts, is in your cells. Now, PEMF has been around for quite a long time. In the 70s, they discovered that it was really helpful with stubborn bone healing problems people were having. So now you find it in, medical clinics, hospitals, health practitioners, really around the world. And it was FDA approved in the 70s. Now, it kind of mimics, we say, grounding, and that is the Earth's magnetic frequency. And you would have to get out in your bare feet, walk around on the ground, on the grass, on the sand, in order to get that connection with the Earth's magnetic field. Well, being in Nebraska where it snows and it's cold for at least 6 months out of the year, that's not practical for people to do. And so what this does is it kind of mimics that, but it's much more powerful. And we're not the ones telling you this. It actually started with NASA. NASA was sending their astronauts into space. They came back down. They opened up the capsule and they said, my goodness, what happened to you? You've aged. You're sick. You're disoriented. All these things started to happen with them. And they realized that they literally had magnetic field deprivation. So they went to work and they developed their own technology. And then it led to all these other health benefits that we're seeing today with our P90 and P90 Plus. So we get the benefit of some of those studies. Now, the other technology is a newer technology called terahertz. It's been around for a while still, but in the 80s, scientists began to explore how it resonates with the human cells. And if you look at the frequency, the top one is a normal, healthy cell. And below that is the terahertz wave. And it's been referred to as the frequency of life. And we're not the only ones saying that as well. In 2004, the US held a conference and said that it's one of the top 10 technologies that will change the future world. Japan jumped on board and basically said the same thing in 2005. China put together an entire conference dedicated just to the research and development of terahertz. And so it's a growing field. It's been around for a while. It's getting more popular now. But again, we're the company that has put the two technologies together. So what does terahertz do? Well, terahertz basically can resonate with the water molecules in your body. Now think about that. We're 60 to 70%, water. And so it energizes the water molecules, almost structuring that water. It also increases circulation. It helps hydration because the terahertz waves help deliver the water to our cells. And then, of course, it helps with the reverse, and that is the detoxification. So what happens when people get on the P90 and the P90 Plus, they put their feet on there, amazing things start to happen. For me personally, I started to feel the blood flow and the heat in my feet. I had severe inflammation in my Achilles heels, and that started to go away within just a few days. So what it does is it helps bring oxygen and nutrients to the cells of the body. And when that happens, basically your body knows what to do and it can start that healing process. I love this slide right here because it's a demonstration of what it's doing to a red blood cell. So Dr. Mark does live blood cell microscopy. On the left, he checked a person that came in. He does this a lot. He said the results are always the same. But you can see it's discolored and it's yellow, it's inflamed, the cells are stressed. And if they're clumped together, then obviously they're not going to be able to circulate and get that microcirculation and into the cells. So on the right is just 30 minutes first session with somebody on their feet on the P90, and you can see that they're all separated, they're energized, they're able to flow. Now, PEMF has been proven to help your body produce nitric oxide. Well, nitric oxide, if you hear, hey, eat your beets or take these beets, it's going to help with your cardiovascular and so on. Nitric oxide will help relax and widen the vessels, which in turn then helps that blood flow. As you can see from this image, right, it also helps so your blood isn't sticky and it has a smoother flow. But most importantly, it's not just blood flow, it's microcirculation. It's being able to deliver nutrients and oxygen into the capillaries, right into the cells, and that's what it does. Now, we don't always want to look at toe fungus, but I've got to show you this because this is a demonstration of what happened when someone got on the P90 and really delivering the nutrients and so on and oxygen to the part of the body that's not getting it. And that's what causes toe fungus a lot. So it was for 5 years, had this major toe fungus, and this was the progression of time. It didn't happen overnight. It was probably 6 months to a year, but that's just a demonstration of what happens when you bring blood to the part of the body that doesn't have it. How do you use the device? You turn it on, you put your bare feet on the metal plates, and you do a session. There's different levels, different numbers. We always say you start low and slow, right? Get used to the frequency. And it's just absolutely amazing. What happened to me in addition, I'm healthy. Thank God. I don't take any medications, my wife or myself. But when I got on the device, it started literally detoxing my body. So, I had more bowel movements. I was just, Angela and I were going to the restroom. It's like, my goodness, I'm just putting my feet on this device. How is it doing this? But deeper digging into the research of what it does, we all have some type of cellular inflammation. Sometimes people have parasites, different things, heavy metals. And this device can literally start to cleanse your body. Now, what do we hear? We hear about everything, okay? Because once you straighten out the cellular structure, then all sorts of things can happen. But Ed here on the left, these are real people. I know him personally. Ed suffered with peripheral neuropathy for 20 years. He didn't have the feeling in his feet. He wasn't able to keep his balance. He wasn't able to walk properly. The doctors basically said they gave up on him, gave him these sticks to walk with and these braces that he had to wear in order to walk. In a week, and we have this on video, he went from not being able to walk to walking from the living room into the kitchen and back again. And so it completely worked through his feet. It connected his nerves to his brain. He got his balance back. And then his wife was giving him a massage and happened to touch his foot, and his foot jumped. And he said, I bet it had been 15 years for me to ever feel something on my feet like that. So he got his some of his feeling back and all that. Eileen here had osteoarthritis, still does, and osteopenia. But her pain, she said she couldn't believe it, went away in one day on the device. We can't say that all the time. We can't make health claims. We don't know how it's going to affect every person. But it's amazing what happened to her. But she goes to the doctor to get her bone density checked. So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, I've got news that I haven't been able to give you in years or decades. And that is your T-scores, your bone density increased 1 point. And she said, I'm going to be 84 years old. It isn't like my bone density was getting better, but getting on the device, getting that circulation, getting your cells connected and communicating can do amazing things. And the last one is my friend Bill. I've known Bill for 27 years. He broke his back 30 years ago. He's traveled around the country going to different doctors. He's tried everything from mats to patches to, devices to, nutrition, everything that he possibly could to get out of the pain where he broke his back between L4 and L5. He said in 10 minutes on the device, I knew it was going to help me. So 2.5 months later, he said, I'm pain-free. I'm living a life that I couldn't live before. One of the doctors had injected him with gadolinium to try and help his back. It messed him up mentally. So he got all of that brain fog out, his mental clarity, and he just feels like a brand new person with that. So other devices, real quick, we have the A9 Bomba Air. It looks like an air filter, but it's not. It's another technology. It releases negative ions into the air that attach to dust, particles, pollution, and it brings them down to the surface level so you're not breathing them in. I love that in Nebraska. We're in the start of our fall allergy season. And this thing goes into whatever room I'm going to be in because it literally helps to clear the air. The Galaxy G1i device is probably our second fastest selling device. It sells out. Amazing what it does. It's a low frequency PEMF. It massages your temples. It provides heat, but it's targeted for the eyes and brain health. So we have people that are telling us their vision is improved. We had someone this last week say that they didn't have to go in for their cataract surgery. It relieves the pressure of the eyes, dry eyes. It's an amazing device. And then the water bottle is a single serve molecular hydrogen water bottle with MRET technology. So it has two technologies. Hydrogen infused water is a powerful antioxidant. It works on the most dangerous, deadly and free radical that's in our body. And that's incredible in and by itself. But the molecular resonance effect technology, what that does is it structures the water. So as we get water, typically by the time we get it, it's flat, it's lost its energy. It no longer has the pure clusters of water. All the water clusters are clumped together, almost like the red blood cell picture. What this will do is straighten it out so the water can be absorbed directly into the cells. And the last one is the vitality wand. It's a terahertz wand. It's targeted for that pain, that inflammation, can dredge the meridian pathways. So you can use all the devices together and or you can use them individually, but they are amazing technology with what they have. So we've got two of them right here. The original P90 is $13.95, and that's shipped to your door. So shipping, handling, processing. And then the P90 Plus that has the two attachments. One is actually for the face. It has a radio frequency and electrical muscle stimulation. So it helps with collagen, the tightening of the muscles, the wrinkles, and so on. And the other one has 4 modalities. It has red light therapy, heat, electrical muscle stimulation, and vibration. So it's a targeted, wand or a device that you can use on your elbow, different parts of your body. And in and by itself, it's also powerful. So what you want to do is, I'm sure that Chris will have a link on his website, a code or something where you can go. If you do want to join us, we'd love to have you. It's a life-changing device. You can be a customer. You can sign up as a distributor. There's no quotas. There's no sign-up fees. There's no admin. There's no nothing if you want to share it with other people. And typically what happens there is people say, hey, I got, these incredible results. How can I not tell someone? And that's pretty much what Aida and myself and now Chris and Joanna are doing. So that's kind of a little bit of a, fast presentation for your audience here, but I'm happy to be on here today with you guys.
Yes, this is interesting because I started using this at the 2025 Disclosure Now conference, and when I first started doing this, I was wearing these really tight, like bound, like shoes. Like I had to, for years since I was injured, since 2009, I had to like practically bind shoes to my feet, in order to keep my feet stable. And it was getting a little old, but what ended up happening was I used the device, the first time I used it, my feet started to actually change their shape, like almost immediately. And I could, the bottoms of my feet would feel like plastic, literally, like they were, they were wrapped in cellophane. And I started using that, and I used it 3-4 times while I was there in July. And by the end of it, when I came back here, I had some energy healings done, but at the same time, this was actually the main thing that was actually helping my feet. By the time I got back here, I'm actually able to wear sandals again, back to the way I did back as a teenager. So, and the tight bound shoes actually hurt my feet from that point forward. I could, on the way home, it was painful wearing the shoes. So I had to completely loosen those on the way back home. And what happened was, I was able to buy sandals, and the shoes I'm wearing now are just regular flat tennis shoes. They don't have the weird arches, and they aren't bound to my feet anymore. So I don't need to actually do that anymore because of the P90. So it worked really well.
And what energetically did you see when you observed what was going on?
Oh yes, when it's the same as like you said when grounding, when walking on the earth, but only this was 100 times faster, and I noticed the energy going up and down through my body and through the feet. It was starting to open like you said, open the cells up. I could literally feel as the cells were opening up, and some of the blood vessels were opening up. And now we use it nearly every night. And I have to use it on a low level because I have an iron bar or a titanium bar in my leg, so I have to keep it low. But that's actually good enough. It builds up slowly and begins to clear my legs out, and the nerves in the damage in my legs have started to reawaken as well. The nerves have all started to come back on. So before it was kind of numb, where it's kind of partially asleep with the pins and needles. This past this, the pins and needles started to stop. So from the injury when I had to have my knee repaired. So it's actually worked quite well. My ankles actually for the first time will actually pivot properly as well. And so I was actually able to walk on both ankles and feet. And the left foot, it was partially injured. It would do this weird fold thing constantly like this. It doesn't do that anymore. So it's not supposed to do that. There was scar tissue through the side of the foot. It's sealed up. I can definitely tell it's completely like firmed up on that side. So I can actually walk barefoot if I wanted to again. So
That's fantastic, Chris. I
mhm.
just want to respond to, I mean, I'm so happy to hear that you're having such great benefits, right? We talked about it a little bit. I don't know, Todd, you may not be familiar that I work closely with a gentleman named Brian Singh, who is the executive producer of the Full Disclosure Now conference, which both Joanna and I'm sorry, Joanna and Christopher, I don't know why I said Michael, um, her last name. Yeah, my brain's kind of, they were presenters there, and also Ben. He makes and she makes amazing dream catchers, and he makes all these other shungite devices and different little trinkets to grid your home with and to help with Wi-Fi and frequencies coming in. But anyways, so I had been mentioning this to Chris for some time, and he's now got his own device. And look at, I mean, your testimony is amazing. That's fantastic, Chris. Seriously,
Mhm.
I'm so happy to hear that for you. And
Mhm.
keep it up. I did want to say something. So I have quite a few testimonies to share from clients that I've worked with. Um, just having them come in once a week. Now I sell the machines to them. I encourage them to use their machines. Some, they don't do it daily. All I can do is encourage them to do it, but they, even doing it once a week, which it's recommended to be done twice a day, preferably in the morning and at night, but at least once a day you want to use your, if you haven't, use it. That's what I say. But Beth had Raynaud's, or I'm sorry, Pamela had Raynaud's. She had had a injection, and it caused some health issues, and her foot turned black. They had to amputate her toe.
Mhm.
And I met her after this happened, after the healing and so forth. And her foot was literally black. Like all the blood was coagulated in her foot, painful. She was supposed to have back surgery. She'd walk bend over, scuffing her feet, trying to get, around. And she did 3 sessions with me, and her Raynaud's cleared up. The
Mhm.
doctors were blown away. And she was supposed to have back surgery because she had issues with her L4 and L5, and so do I. And the doctor told her, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, and told her she didn't need back surgery any longer. And she's doing amazing. I have another lady that just had a bone density test, and it came back fantastic. I don't know what the numbers are, but this is the one that just bought the machine from me, Todd, last week.
That's
So
amazing.
Mhm.
that people are getting the benefits. It's just, I really, I hope for anybody that watches this video or this podcast in the future that you really consider, if you're having some health issues or you have loved ones or parents. I mean, this is really the price point. I mean, they have Beamer mats out there, not to knock Beamer mats. I can't speak to it because I don't have one, but excuse me, I had a young lady, I had a women's gathering here, and I let her use the P90, and she told me that she had bought a Beamer mat and became a distributor and spent 5,000 on the mat. Do you know she came to my office in Mandarin and ended up buying a package for me and told
Mhm.
me that the P90 blew the Beamer mat away. And I'm thinking, more importantly, it's probably because it has the terahertz and PMF. They complement one another really well. I'll speak for my own testimony. I had Hashimoto's. Um, had to take medication for it and was lethargic. Probably I'd have a good 3 hours and then I'd be ready to come home and lay down. I wouldn't go places. People would invite me on social events, and I'd, you know, say no because I always felt like I was going to be tired by the time I got there and would want to leave. And it's doing the ionic foot detox and taking liquid zeolite and the P90 for 6 months, I went to the doctor and had blood work done and was told that my thyroid's normal for the first time in over 10 years. That's mind blowing.
Wow.
No more Hashimoto's. Gone.
Oh, wow.
That's the truth. Yeah. And I have so much energy all the time. So it's fantastic. I sleep good. My hair, I lost so much hair from Hashimoto's. My hair is so thick. I have a client, Diane. I just saw her at the dog park. Her hair's growing back her normal color. She went to get her hair done last week. This is the God's honest truth. Went to get her hair done and for her gray to get a touch up, and her hairdresser said to her, "You have no gray hair." She's like, "What the heck? What's going on?" And she said, "Oh, well, I'm going and seeing this lady Ida and doing these, I think it's called she tried to explain to her what it is. And yeah. And I have other clients. I mean, I have an attorney she's an attorney for Amazon. I mean, her husband's a doctor. She comes to me. Her hair is thick. She has energy. She's doing well. I mean, it really does work. And this is a great opportunity if you want to be a part of the team. I mean, Todd and Jennifer's not here, but Todd and Jennifer are our leaders of the group. And I called him and asked him, "Todd, would you be willing to come on a podcast?" And he said, "Absolutely." I mean, they're so helpful and they really put so much good information out there. I mean, I copy paste a lot of Todd's stuff and put it on you probably don't know that, Todd, but I'm telling on myself. I copy paste a lot of the stuff that you post because I want my clients to see. I know you do you show where the doctors, what is it called?
The research and the
research. Yes, to show that this is not just, airy fairy and we're trying to sell you something. There is medical backed research from doctors, scientists, testifying and giving information showing that these types of technologies are really good for us. So I do mine every day. Yeah. And just to show hands-on real quick, just if anybody is, these things do so much more than. I have people that have told me they start seeing swirling colors in their head, that they go, they'll go into a meditative state. Because I have my clients do the whole thing. I have the the vitality wand pointing at them. I have them put the goggles on while their feet are on the P90 plus. I'm really stuck on the P90 plus, even though I love the P90. I started out with that. I love my P90 plus now. But these devices, and you just, turn it on and you'll hear this poof, 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 which is going to the pineal gland, the octave nerves into the spinal cord. And it's just so good for us, right? I mean, I've had people come in with headaches and, feeling foggy headed. And I'll tell you, there was a thing here, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months ago, this chem fog stuff that was spraying. I don't know if you heard of it, Todd. Did you? Okay. And it was here in St. Augustine. I was leaving the dog park and I saw this big cloud in the sky. And I'm like, what is that? And I knew it wasn't a fire cloud. It wasn't like, burning smoke cloud type. And I ended up getting sick. This whole side of my head was filled with mucus. I don't even want to tell you what came out of me. I ended up going to the doctor, getting antibiotics, didn't do anything. I said, let me try my OlyLife, my eyewear, because I wasn't feeling so great. So I just didn't think of it. I'm thinking I put this on and I'm telling you the next morning I woke up and everything came out of me and I was better. It just caused everything to drain out. It was fantastic. And it wasn't until I used it that happened. So I'm very passionate about what I do. And I love these products. I really do. They're changing lives. I can't speak, there's not much more I can say. Everybody should be doing PMF and terahertz. That's what I feel like. Everybody. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we have so many people that are still, and I'm not saying do away with the medical field. That's not me, right? If you're sick or something serious is going on, absolutely go to the doctor. I'm not here to give medical advice in any way. What I am here to say is that there are other options. And if you do things like PMF and terahertz, you'll find that you will build up enough of immune system, because it strengthens your immune system as well, where you're not getting sick. You don't get sick anymore. You don't need to go to the doctor. Or you find out, like some of my clients that have had some health issues and injuries and a lot of pain, and the pain is gone. They don't have to have surgery. Am I saying that that's for everybody? Everybody will have that experience? I can't say that. What I can say is it's worth giving it a try.
Mhm.
So, yep.
Yeah,
That's it.
I noticed that also because back in 24 I got a severe shingles outbreak that went into my eye. I still battle it back and forth. You know, it's a pain in my butt. But I did notice that when I started using this, it did slow the progression. It didn't completely stop it. It made it so that it was more of a trickle versus a complete takeover of my eye. So when it came through, and I also noticed, yeah, I could feel when the field went up into my head here. This is the nerve that got damaged back in 2024 when it inflated this above my eye and set a water blob above my left eye here. This damage, this eyebrow starts to lift back up again, and it starts to actually stay where it's supposed to. If I since I use the machine, I noticed this is firmed up a bit since I've used that. I have not used the wand or anything yet on this. I intend to do that, for the facial one,
Or
right there, because it went up into this part of my head and this hairline. I noticed where some of the scarring from this and from the scarring from my accident, which is on the right side, when that field hit that scar tissue. At first, it felt creepy, but then when it started to flow through that enough, it actually started to bring feeling back into where I had this is where I hit my head, was right in here and down through here. Nobody sees it, but there's scar tissue through my head here. And when I did this, it actually began to free that up, and the nerves to free that up. So it actually worked incredibly well. Because I also, back in when we were back in Arizona, there was one incident where since I deal with entities and other energetic fields, there was a severe attack that hit this part of my head that made this dent in my head, and I noticed that it started to firm that dent up where it's filling it back in. It used to be the dent about a quarter or half the size of a golf ball. That's how deep in it went into my scalp here and down to my skull almost. I've noticed from using this that dent is starting to fill in because it's not supposed
that's
to be
pretty
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, Chris, just real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is called the Revitalux. So it has EMF, PMF, is it PMF and red light?
No, yeah, it has EMS, electrical muscle
EMS, that's what I
stimulation.
meant.
Yeah, yeah.
And red light and what else?
Heat and
Okay,
percussion massage.
right.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Todd.
Yeah.
Because yeah. So you could use this, by the way, on your head to stimulate hair follicle and hair growth. It probably would help with that injury, what you were just describing. You can use it anywhere on your body. It's amazing. I love it. I do sessions for my clients on their neck, their lower back. One of my clients, Diane, she was in a bus accident and ended up breaking the back top of her left rib. I mean, not rib. What is it? The shoulder blade. Cracked in half. And I've been doing sessions for her with this, and her pain is getting it's starting to subside. It's not fully, but I think as we continue doing them, that she's going to have a better response. Also, I use it on other clients up and down their legs to help stimulate with neuropathy and so forth. So this, may be helpful, especially with the leg where you have the rod. Just do it on the lighter end and just see if if it's uncomfortable, don't do it. Stop, of course. Yeah, I mean, and then I decided to bring my gel home with me so I took before and after, and I'm going to see if I can get rid of these things on my face and my neck. And then I'm going to take after pictures. I'm going to do it once a week because let me just tell you, Todd, so I have an office in Mandarin that I work Wednesday Friday and Saturdays, and then I work in a salon called the Allure European Day Spa, which they have everything there from Botox, hair, everything. And this was perfect because I was, they didn't have what I was offering. So she invited me to come and work there. And she's been an esthetician for over 30 years, and she used it on herself and then use it on me for the first time. And she told me this is a powerful device, that it works very well, and said, I did take before pictures and take after pictures. Do it once a week for 6 weeks, and you will notice a difference. Now, I noticed that it was a little painful. I said, I don't know if I'm going to want to offer those sessions to people with this because it didn't hurt. It was like an achy pain. But she said that's because you have you have loose skin and your muscle is weakened. But if you do it consistently, you're going to notice. And she has a device similar. So, and she does all the things and her skin is beautiful. So I want to start using it. But there's so many benefits to doing this, guys. I can't say enough about it. I really love OlyLife. I think the price point comparison to other devices that I've looked into, you're not going to get better than this product. I feel like that. So good for you and welcome aboard, Chris. I'm glad you've joined us. I think
Yeah,
we really are all about as you know us, we're all about the energy, and we don't just like to talk about things. We like to try them out, see what we think, see how we can validate it in our way, in our energetic kind of way. I think that most people know that this is one of the healing modalities that is coming forward. It's not, available right now. It's usually at many salons near you. It is one of the newer ones. So I think the best that we can do is just tell people that these things are coming. And, they certainly, from our perspective, are looking into. And, basically, if you can get to a salon that has something and you don't want to invest in it, to obviously be able to try it out for a little bit first. From my perspective, that you will know sooner than later, especially, again, with some of these healing modalities where you're sitting there and you're getting the treatment done, and it won't take very long for the minor aches and pains, let's say, to go away, for a little bit of revitalization and energy. So that's the good news. The good news is that if somebody wanted to go someplace and try it out first, my thing is you're not going to be doing many sessions that you're paying for before you realize that there's something very positive happening here. And that's what people need as well. So, but if you want to invest in something, I kind of agree with you, Ida, that if you're going to be willing to outlay $1,000 or $2,000 into something, you could potentially get more bang for your buck with something like this rather than something more expensive. And people should, consider it. But I do hope it makes it into more salons in different places where it's available, for people to kind of test drive it for a little bit. Because again, from our perspective and from our experiences with it, that it won't take very long. For me in general, I'm pretty darn healthy, so I didn't have a ton of problems or anything like that, but I was starting to have aches and pains and different things that really quickly were handled. And I work, I do what we do with the lifting, but I also work full time, and I work in a pretty highly stressful job. So what I also can say that I appreciate is the fact that what you were saying with the energy and the stamina and the clear-headedness to be able to problem solve quicker. I do believe that that is a benefit that I am having from it. So I really greatly appreciate that as well. So, just something for people to keep at. And, if there are salons and energetic salons in different places, I hope you share this video with them. I think it is something that people ought to consider all over the country, bringing these types of equipments in for people's healing. Absolutely.
Well, what you want to do is contact Chris, and Chris will make sure that he has uh a distributor number in case anybody's interested in purchasing a machine. Now, this is also great for, you know, health practitioners, massage therapists, chiropractors. I mean, it's a great uh, additive to other modalities that they're doing. I will tell you, I don't think I've been depressed since I mean, I don't really experience too much of a depression. I mean, I get affected pretty heavily by the different moon cycles. And this is just, I wake up in a pretty good mood every day and excited for life. And am I going to put it all on this machine? No, but it's definitely something that supports my mental health and my emotional state and feeling good throughout the day. Now, I don't know. There was a long time ago when I first got with OlyLife, when I first start learning about the machines, and I did a lot of research before I finally bought one. And there was a lady, I think her husband was a chiropractor. Todd, I don't remember her name. It was a while back. I don't know if you were with the group yet, but she had a son that was autistic, and he was combative in school, wouldn't listen to the teachers. They had to hire an assistant to go to school with him because he just wasn't willing to cooperate. After a month of using, I think a month and a half of putting him on the P90, she got rid of the assistant going to school with him. He started listening to the teacher and start getting along with all his classmates. Quite literally.
Yeah, that's amazing. I did hear that testimonial. I don't think I was around yet, but it does have the calming effect. It works on the central nervous system. It works on your parasympathetic nerve. That's why people sleep better. They are not as stressed. It totally does that. And then when it comes to pain and inflammation, and you're getting all these pain signals, right, from your nerves, it's an overactive nervous system, kicking out that pain. So when you help with that pain and inflammation and that circulation, then all of a sudden you don't have all the pain, you're more relaxed, you're happier, and all the wonderful things that happen from that. So, and then when it comes to, whether you're going to go somewhere and try it, the business model that OlyLife chose was direct to consumer. So think about that for a moment. They said, okay, we have an option. We can spend millions of dollars. We can try and advertise, pay for Google clicks, get this into health practitioners. But, the device would probably cost $7,000. And they wanted it to be affordable for a home device where people could, not just one person in the family, 2 or 3 people could use the device. And so that's why they've created the business model they have, is so we can share it with other people we know. And then you start to hear these happy calls. And, in my time, my background is health and nutrition. And there were some times where, someone would call and you'd like, oh my gosh, what are they going to tell me? Are they unhappy with whatever they purchased? But not with this device. It literally is life-changing. And they've made it in a way where you can share it, or you can share it with a health practitioner, a massage therapist, a chiropractor, someone who can use it as well.
Exactly. And I hope even that side of it opens up more, because then again, I think then people would, some people won't just buy unless they can try first, and either through friends, or like you said, I would love to see it get into the hands of other healers who can bring it into their practice as well. That would be wonderful. So, but no, I mean, we us, and we do not advertise things. We actually don't do this, but we can just tell you that this has definitely had a positive impact for us. And, we do believe in the healing energies. We can kind of see that the energies are doing something in a very benevolent, positive way. And, are excited that other options now are becoming more open for people to use, instead of just the traditional medicine model right now. But obviously I am in that model as well. I don't see it going away. I don't want it to go away. Would like a few things cleaned up properly, but it is important. I remember the day when chiropractors were a no-no, and so it took a long time even for them to be accepted into the community. And now we're going to move more into the frequency type of healings, and I'm really
Yes.
happy that we've been able to experience it, and happy to share this information with others.
Well, just imagine this. So thank you for that, Joanna. I always appreciate your feedback on things, because I know that you are such a authentic woman, and you will speak to what you experience, and you're very fair in what you like your perspectives on different stuff. I appreciate that. But think about, you've got a cell phone in your hand, let's just say 3 to 5 hours a day, most of us, at least. I'd say 3 to 5 hours a day. Think about it, right? You're looking at computers, you're looking at TV screens, you're looking at, different devices. We got Wi-Fi surrounding us. Our nervous system, besides the fact that we have telephone towers everywhere. So we are bombarded, and I live in an apartment. So I have my Wi-Fi, and then the wall right behind me is my neighbor who also has their Wi-Fi. Like, we are smothered in this field of dirty electricity and all these frequencies that are not helpful to the body. So having technology like this to help regulate the nervous system, to calm the mind, to settle in the heart, to set some intentions. That's what I do daily, every day. And I really, I love the technology. There's an opportunity to earn. You can earn, some people are doing this full time, right, Todd? I don't do it full time, but I mean, I sell machines when I can get somebody interested, and I will support you. I'll do whatever I can, Chris, to help you get yourself going. If it's really something you want to take, do it on the side and make some extra money, whatever. But it's really not about the money for me. It's so much bigger than that. Of course, I want to earn a living, but to see the reward is when people come and say, Ida, I feel so much better. Thank you. I get, text messages from my clients saying how good they feel after coming in and seeing me. And I'm just like, it's not me, it's the machine. Of course, I do my best to be comforting and assuring that they're going to get the help they need if they do it consistently, and hopefully they buy a machine and start using it in their own home daily. It's, and the P90 Plus is only 20 minutes. So 20 minutes out of your day, preferably twice a day. But if you're only doing it once a day, it's still good. And it's an act of self-love as far as I'm concerned. So I love it. Todd, I'm so thankful that you came on and shared the slides with us. And yeah, go ahead. You were going to say
it was my pleasure to meet you, Chris and Joanna. And, I'm passionate about it as well. It's something that, my wife says it best when we say, well, if it does this for him, and she says, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The device works. We can prove what it does. We don't know how they're going to feel it, but it is an amazing technology. And Joanna, you're right. I loved your analogy of the chiropractors, because I've been seeing chiropractors for 35 years. But there is that acceptance and that awareness that we need. And I love it that you brought that up with that analogy to it, because we are living in a world where people are more open now to technology. And, it's amazing when you can put your feet on something and start to feel it working. And then, Chris, what you were saying, as far as feeling it, you're in tune with your body. Some people can feel it, some can't. But what we have also picked up on, I used to have an old football injury knee here. And, when you put your feet on it, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, why is my knee starting to hurt? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's where I had that injury, is in my knee. So it's my pleasure. I do have to run to another call, but thank you for inviting me on to talk about this. And Ida, you are definitely passionate about it, helping people. Every person that gets a device can trickle and continue to help other people. And really, that's what it's about.
That's my hope.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Todd, thank you so much for joining us.
Mhm.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Todd.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
All right, so that's actually quite interesting. Well, he's gonna miss the channel then, but oh well.
That's okay. I'm always ready for your channel,
Okay,
your
let's.
channeling.
Yeah, who's gonna be our group of beings that only deal with medical? So it's they're a group that I've known them for years, but Randy Kramer reintroduced them to me as well. So they're called the Velodians of Paradisia. I met them like 10, 11 years ago, actually, and I didn't completely realize they were the same group. And these particular ETs deal with only medical concerns, only health concerns, and that's it. And what they do for the most part is people here on Earth tend to call them soul doctors. That's the nickname for them. And the New Age and metaphysical people have called them that for a couple decades now. And they usually take that form because they're under treaties that they can't completely, show themselves here. So what they do is they will take like if you give them permission, anyway, they'll take like almost like a hypothetical of your or like a snapshot of your energy, and they'll see what's wrong, and then they will pinpoint out and then put the healing codes inside that box and send that back at you.
Nice.
Projection.
That's
And
fantastic.
some of these devices do something similar. Like I know the Genius device does that similar thing. The P90 actually, well, actually that opens the cells up. It's something similar energetic wise that they're using, but just different, more high tech there. But they also will also come down here if there's something physical to take care of. They generally don't. You generally don't know they've been there unless there's like a scar left behind or something where they've removed like an implant or some kind of problem or something. Like if somebody wakes up with a mysterious scar, sometimes it's these guys doing it. So I knew of a client friend of ours that had an alien implant in her back. And I said, just ask them for help. It's near near your spine on the outside, near the skin edge. That means they might be able to remove it quickly. Next morning, she woke up. There was an inch-sized scar where they had pulled it out. So it was.
Wow.
So they can't physically show up. It's just they have to be slick about it. And I have a friend in England that called on their help. They didn't count on him waking up or coming to while they were in the room. They scared the crap out of him. So it's like he's like he called me up going, guess what? Some human-looking aliens in medical gear were in my room with a big bag and a big box with something in it. I'm like, yeah, that's the Velodians. You're fine. They say oopsie, but he was wanting to see what they looked like. So they can get away with that for a little bit. But yeah, this is who is present here. I know at least two of them, three if you count one that's not Nordic looking that called himself Stephen. There was one by the name of Shingo and one by the name of Nidan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, but that's three of them that I've usually spoke to. But which one wants to speak? Oh, Nidan this time. Okay, all right. Nordic woman, blonde hair. I want to say hazel eyes or greenish eyes. Uh, and roughly, like, believe like 6'1", 6'2", I believe. So they're pretty tall. So they look like what you would call a typical Nordic. Some of the people channel this, but there's Nordic races all over the galaxy. So, okay. You done? Okay. Gotta readjust my seat here. There we go. Here's the quick intrusion. There's been a fair amount of interference because this technology actually gets rid of interference. So if you're ungrounded to the point where you're hearing the noise, a lot more, this will cancel the junk out. He calls it the mouth, which is this obnoxious AI yammering in the background, including some of your Wi-Fi, including some of your V2K, things of this nature. It will actually realign your brain to make sure that this is far more quieted. When you are grounded completely, it actually is far more difficult for them to do any form of mental manipulation on you from narratives, any of it. But if you have shadow work that you have to deal with, this will actually assist in that because it will actually, again, reground you and reground your, open your cells up, open your brain up, and anything that is hidden will start to creep its way out. So some people may have that reaction if they have something that they must deal with, but 9/10 of the people more than likely will not have this. So it's just if you have something you must deal with in your own, within your own self and your own soul energy. In this instance, if people have not heard of my group before, I am of the Velodians of Paradisia. The home world is, home planet is located in the Cygnus constellation. We also have one of the largest medical installations in the knee of Cassiopeia as well, and multiple medical facilities all around Galactic Federation territory. Not to boast, but people rely on this particular technology that we have out here quite proficiently. But here's an earthly loophole before Earth gains more galactic sovereigns in this way. The technologies like your P90 that have come up are from some of the medical projects, as well as some of the you say ET hybrid technology, and or what is learned, I should say, what is learned from ET technology. Like your fiber optics, for instance, came from a downed spaceship originally. And humans learned what they could from it and adapted it to their own technology. Hybrid technology is not necessarily gluing things together. They're too incompatible. But if you learn a little bit from a particular technology and apply it to your own, it boosts that much more. That's where some of this came from. The foot plates that you see on the P90 Plus there and the P90 are actually based on some gravimetric plates and regrounding plates that were not only in your secret space programs, but also ET technology as well, that would adapt to whichever gravity of that particular species came from, you'd say. So we have been able to adapt different chambers, different areas, and reground whatever the specific species is to the circadian rhythms that would then combine them with, not combine them, but from the planet or dimension of origin, you see. With humans, this will come in handy in space travel, and has. This has been adapted. He said it came from based on some NASA technology. Where do you think they got it from? No, this even though they are called never a straight answer, in this case, they actually gave you one for the technology. So I can go into questions.
So let me just ask you, in general, again, are there, we talk about the benefits, but we want to be whole in our analysis. We don't want to tell every single person out there that this is meant for them. So are there any particular, what we would call contraindications, maybe people that have had things done to their body already that maybe shouldn't potentially use it or shouldn't use it at a higher level, at a low level? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, he notices real quick that the metal that's in his body, even though it does purge heavy metals and regrounds and such, you can slowly acclimate upward if you have that. But as he found out with his family members, anybody with heart metal around their heart valves and such, not necessarily a good idea, but people that don't have this would highly recommend that. Also, metal in like from an accident or something like that, you'll feel it. As long as it's not in your head or near your heart or anything, you'll still feel some of the heat from it. But it's not going to really harm. But with his bar and his leg, he's had to slowly go up the intensity ladder. We recommended, and Isaac recommended, and even though he's not necessarily a physician of any kind, recommended not going above level 4 or 5. He noticed real quick when he tried this that it heated up, the rod and it's like or the skin around it since it's conductive. But if you have metal like metal plate or something with your heart or metal anywhere, just know that it will conduct. Also, interesting note, if anybody has any alien tech in their body, it will actually illuminate that particular technology for X-ray scanners. A little known fact, like if you go through an airport, as you guys did, when you
Oh, yeah, so I
oh,
did tell Ida that
oh,
story.
and he noticed where implants were in his body because of the fact the P90 revealed their location. So this is a I'd like to say side effect, but it actually was intentional. Getting around treaties and things of that nature is kind of a bitch, you would say, uh, but with this instance, it actually revealed a couple of them in his body. That had been there for some time. This will actually happen for people that have been abducted by the more unscrupulous lot of ETs, or even some that are not, some that maybe left something there a long time ago. This will begin to show up, and it will show up on regular medical x-rays and equipment from that point forward. It actually charges that device up to the point where it can be seen with human eyes and with device eyes and things of this nature. That's why the x-rays at the airport located them, because it actually illuminated them. They're not there. They might be quantum-based technology and a bit of nano in there, and with they look like a little gyroscope, little twirly gigs. But the a pulsed electrical field or a magnetic one from an MRI will also stun them as well. You've heard MRIs resurrect memories from your SSP. This may also do this, but not quite the intensity of an MRI. Or hidden memories, it may have to saturate a little bit or marinate. But when it comes to hidden tech, it will reveal it pretty much on the first try.
So I have to say, now that you brought this up, so what happened is that we went through the screening and Chris's private parts of all places on his body lit up bright red. And he had to go through a pat down. And I never laughed so hard in my life because because I thought it was hilarious. Now, even, I mean, obviously they found nothing, right? Or
Oh,
whatever.
that's so funny. I'm sorry.
It is
Oh
funny.
boy, that's funny.
So I laughed so hard, when that occurred. So again, nothing obviously was found, but unfortunately, he had to go through a pat down and he didn't laugh. He handled it well, but I was sitting there laughing my butt off. So, but anyway, so that's what happened with that. I forgot all about that till you just said
That's
that.
funny.
It was funny.
That's hilarious.
So I guess things like that could happen. All of you folks who want to know if you have an implant or not, get it and see if you start lighting up in places, I guess. So.
The only types that it will not reveal on an X-ray would be photonic types of technology, like the holographic type geometric like ones that are more light, solid light based, but it will disperse them. So think of forced light is more like a lightsaber you'd see in Star Wars, sort of. Some craft are like this. You've heard of light ships, but that's more cliche. Some are surrounded in light, some are orbs that have, it's bigger on the inside, like your TARDIS on Doctor Who, things of this nature. This will begin to disperse photonic technology, and or there are some what your Roddenberry called cyberviral implants that have been put in people that are more made of brain matter, and also some that use frequency to take the water in the body to run through the eyes, the same as the other cyberviral implant, and it goes to the fibers of the brain. The water then is used with frequency to shape the water into an implant based on a certain frequency. What breaks this frequency? Another frequency. And so there's also frequencies that can regrow teeth that are between basically 5 and 9 hertz, things of this nature. Yes, Isaac, I know the brown note hits that too. Thank you. But in this, his clowning aside, I will say that these types of implants that use frequency and light and photonics and holographics to form will lose their cohesion pretty much immediately with these devices. Because of the way it goes up and down the body. So if you've had a problem with different ETs, this is the thing to get. Especially some of those little grays that like to wander around and stick you. I mean, some of them work for other people. I'm just saying that if you've had the negative types, especially also the big paler ones with the giant crease in the front of their head, or butt crease in front of their head, those guys, they will get disrupted by this. Trust me. We do not necessarily approve of some of their actions. But we do approve of disrupting some of your actions. And if it's a human innovation project or not, that has come down all either through channeling or through this way, this is perfectly permissible to use for that action or however you figure out its other uses, healing or otherwise. Do you have questions for myself?
I am just fascinated listening to you. I don't have any questions. I'm fascinated with the information, and I appreciate you coming forward and sharing this information with us. That's it. Yeah.
No, also one other thing, it will realkalize the body so certain implants can't exist. Certain implants exist like some of your black goo types, gravine, and some of those others. Like what you were saying about getting the shot or jab. It will break up the bonds that gravine oxide produces in the body. And this is a powdered version of the black goo. And in this instance, let's just say it gives it a little bit of a zap and demolecularize and debonds the gravine bonds, you see. He likes to call gravine oxide Shungite's retarded older cousin because of this reason. Shungite came in to cancel the other one out. It's part of the fullerene stone family. So Shungite will actually start to cancel this out, but it does it too slowly. If it were in a more liquidic form, it would probably do it a little faster to cancel it out like acids and bases. And then they both cancel each other out like it was in primordial times, canceling them out. Now, with this frequency, it will then start to purge some of those ill effects from what you call the vax. So, not to get you guys canceled off of YouTube or anything, but I'm just saying, I wanted to make sure that this was said, even though technically I say I come from a medical group, I know when it comes to human doctors and human sensors, they might not like saying through somebody that an ET is a doctor, so they know what they're saying, just as a disclaimer.
Right, so we have to say, we are not physicians, nor are we giving medical advice. We're just sharing certain experiences that we've had.
And technically, I would be one that plays one on television. No, sort of.
Exactly. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. So, any final comments for this particular show?
No, this would be about it. We wish to come through to, let's just say, promote our group because we are trying to get the earth opened up to all of this. There's a few stubborn mules out there that wish to either legislate their way through this, doing you call it the slow boat to China method, or millimeters and centimeters, or there's some that just don't want to get rid of power at all. So we're having to deal with either legislation or a loaded gun. So just to say these things, but things like this are actually opening this up a little bit better because loophole after loophole after loophole. If you hit enough of these things, it opens this wide open branch and bracket treaties aside. It will open all this up. So I believe I'm good this evening. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, and for the viewing audience, yes, I went through that X-ray machine, and I had one in my heart that the Belodians said there was an implant behind my heart that was like this gyroscope thing that I'd had put in when I was 5, and that's why I had the muscle undulations in the body, that was weird ripples that I have through the body, which the machine starts to cancel out, by the way. If that wasn't there, it'd completely get rid of them. But this thing has an alarm going off that the nerves are responding. My brain is always acting like an alarm's going off, like you have an egg timer or a phone alarm or a clock going off somewhere. So now I found out why. But with this, there was also one in my privates as well that I was unaware of. So
That is so funny, Chris.
and on the X-ray machine, I saw one as I was wearing an orgone piece at the time. Of course, the device picked up that. It was right in the center. Then to the left, the heart, where it was like a yellowy reddish color over here. Then it's dark cherry red right on my private. So it was like I was blaming Isaac for that one, but he actually was laughing. But he goes, he was actually, I thought he was just the one that revealed it, but it was also the machine that did it too.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
That is hilarious.
So I didn't now, but basically that was his way of saying, "Hey, stupid! The machine actually made this thing visible to people."
Well, so you guys still go through the machines? You don't ask them to pat you down? And
Uh,
Drago is like, I don't go through, and I mean, it's such a pain in the butt, right, for them to go through all your stuff and do all that. But I start thinking like I'd rather get there a little early and let them do it than go through the machine. It just feels like it weakens us.
it does
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit, but I wear an orgone piece. They're there with me, so that tends to
They let you wear the Orgo piece?
yeah, they don't touch it. Obviously, somebody is helping me out by basically kind of making it so they don't think about it.
I actually had my necklace that Jay Parker made for me one time. I do remember them just saying to flip it around back when I was going through it. So I don't know if it helped, but I don't know. I
Yeah, and
just
but I do notice that I do purge X-rays fairly quickly with this device as well. Orgone pieces will do it. They just do it a little slower because they're having to absorb that energy and convert it. So they do it a little slower. Even the magnetic pieces do it a little slower. This goes boop, and gets it like instantly. It just kind of just pulls it out of you. So
that's awesome.
yeah, I've noticed that ill energies. I start getting my strength back. And yes, I am a coffee drinker, but I've also noticed I'm starting to drink a little bit less each time. So yeah.
Chris, I used to drink two to three cups of coffee, and now I'm lucky if I get through a whole cup in the morning.
I drink one. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
it totally. I mean, I made some for the I probably could have done tea, and there's a half. I'm just drinking it because I made it. I don't really want it. I mean, there's a half a cup left in there, but I usually drink a cup in the morning, and I'm good for the whole day.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's fantastic. I'm so happy that you're getting the results, and it's just the beginning. You keep using it, you're going to notice other things. Like you're just going to feel better and better. I don't know how to explain it, but it does get better. And you
mhm,
don't have to be on a high setting for you to
mhm.
get the benefits.
No,
It
it's
doesn't matter
slowly.
what level you're on. I mean, people that want to be on a high setting typically are people that are very athletic, and like there's athletes that buy this type of technology where it gives them the stamina, and it also strengthens your muscles, your your um your um regulates your nervous system, strengthens your immune system. I mean, there's so many benefits. I just could keep going, but I really highly recommend that you check out the group and read. There's so much information, PDFs, so forth, so on. Anybody that's interested, if you have any questions, contact Chris. If I can help, I surely will answer any questions. You'll be adding your number, your distributor number
Mhm.
for people that are interested in purchasing a machine. Um,
Be right in
yeah,
the
and
descriptor down
yeah,
here. So
so yeah,
anywhere
thank you for
anybody
having
wants.
me on. I
Mhm.
appreciate you, both of
Mhm.
you. I think it was a great show. I think Todd, so happy that Todd was able to make it, and he was so kind. He immediately said yes, and you guys, eventually you could have him on by himself. I don't need to be on. I mean, I don't mind coming on, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I believe this is a good place where we can close this show off. This was a wonderful show, guys. So
fantastic
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you everybody for watching this episode of the lifting. Hopefully you learned a lot from this and get one of these machines, please. This is that's worth it. So I now close this circle within true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So thank you everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you.